Here I have my PSP with a bad screen and a new IPS screen for it. This is a PSP 3000, and this kit is specifically for the 3000 models. This will not work, at least to my knowledge, on the 2000 or 1000 or any other models. I'm not that well versed in the PSPs though. Is this dead? Okay, well, I haven't messed with my PSP since I installed my USB-C port, which I'll leave that video link down below if you want to watch that. But apparently it's dead because I was going to show you what the screen looked like previously, but it's dead. So I'll just plug her in here. If I remember correctly, it only works on one side or it doesn't work at all. Oh, there we go. Okay, it just took a second, but maybe we can get her to turn on in a second. Okay, while that charges, I'm going to open this up and show you what we got, and then we'll take a look at the listing and then we'll dive on in. We've got a little bit of double-sided tape to secure it and a pretty clean looking IPS screen. It's drop in, there's no cutting, there's no trimming, there's no nothing, no soldering, no nothing. All right, that was a pretty easy unboxing. Let's go look at the listing. I don't know if I actually paid 36 bucks for this with the $5 shipping, because when I went to my orders and actually clicked on the link, it just says 404 not found. So I found a different listing on AliExpress for it. But like I said, it is no solder, no trimming, just drop in for only the 3000 model. Apparently it's not compatible with the Toshiba 07G motherboard. I don't know anything about this, so I'll move on. Full view IPS, whatever that means, high brightness, that's cool. Same display size as the original, so everything should work out pretty good. Does not include screwdrivers, which a lot of IPS kits, like for the Game Boy, include like really crappy screwdrivers, but whatever. It's all Phillips for me, and you can still change the brightness with that button, which is very nice. Remove the old screen, yep, and I guess, okay, you put this on the back of the screen. Oh, wait, no, okay. You do put it on the edge of the, okay. Interesting. I feel like they should just pre-apply that and just have you peel the other side off. Well, I guess it's just foam. Yeah, why don't they just pre-apply this? It's not even double-sided tape. Whatever. Okay, that is stupid simple. All right, will you turn on now? Oh, here we go. Maybe. Is the screen fully dead now? Or is it just taking a really long time to boot up? Really not sure what's going on. So I'm just going to unplug it. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and rip out the old screen and reinstall this guy. Okay, first let's pop out the battery. And I'm using a Phillips 0-bit to take out this screw. And then there's another screw here, but you probably have a sticker covering that. I've just left it off because I get in here more often than I actually play the dang thing. And then there's two, obviously, in these holes here. And then there are two up top here and one at the bottom here. You can use the same Phillips head bit for both of them, or for all of them. And I always forget how I'm supposed to take this off. Oh, maybe not like that. What is that? I think this is supposed to be stuck down to the screen like this one is. Either way, this screen is not working, but we can lift this screen out from underneath this. We can flip it over this way, and then we can lift this latch here and this latch there. And then we should be able to just pull out our old screen, and then we can go ahead and stick the new ribbon cables in. It'd be nice if I could remove this real quick. There we go. Just because it's in the way a little bit. And we can just slot that in here. I don't recommend using metal tweezers to mess with ribbon cables, but it's what I've got right now, and I'm experienced, and I'm okay. Well, I'm not going to be okay if this breaks, but I'm okay with risking it. And then we can stick the other one in and lock it down. Then we can put this back down, and we can lock in this plastic bracket for the buttons again. And then we should be able to slot the screen underneath there. And I honestly don't remember how this went. Can't believe I just watched a video on Bing, but I did figure out that I have this backwards. It goes in over here. It's positioned like this, which means the thing that sticks out is going down on this end here. That way, our screen is all lined up. And before we get to putting this all back together, we need to peel this and very carefully apply this foam here. So I'm going to peel this and try my best to put this on the correct way. I think this is the hardest part of the entire mod because it's just sticking to my fingers and I just ripped it. I hate this. I don't even know how necessary this really is. I have no advice for anybody. And now this is lifting up great. And I've stretched out the foam. So now I gotta cut it short. Okay. Make sure your buttons are properly placed. And then we can sandwich these two halves together and hopefully all the buttons are lined up and mine aren't. So I get to take that back out again. And I've got smudges on my screen. Oh, and that just broke. Nice. Everything looks locked in. So I'm just gonna screw down the back four first. That way all the screw holes on the top and bottom will line up. And then as long as the battery lets us, we should be able to test it out. Let's see. Oh, that doesn't look quite right. Oh, that's a clip. Darn. Well, we lost the clip there. And we should be able to turn her on. Nope. I might have to let her charge for a while. We should be able to turn it on, and it should actually fire up this time. There we go. Hey, look at that. The whole screen works. I'm kind of nervous to take this off of battery, but we'll say it's January 1st, 2011. God, that this, oh, God, why? Ugh, that is the most horrifying sound ever. I'm so glad I didn't grow up with this handheld. We're at 19%. All right, will it just die if I unplug it? It went up. Okay, we probably don't have that much time though. So yeah, this looks decent. We should, yep, it gets brighter and it gets brighter. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 stages of brightness. I'm sure that's just normal for PSP, but I think it's pretty decently bright. And while I haven't spent much time with the PSP, I think this looks a lot cleaner. Maybe it's just in my head, but I feel like this might be like double the original pixels because it looks crisper. It's definitely brighter. I feel like it's more vibrant. I think it's definitely a better overall screen. And I think the best part is we don't see my horrible foam tape job. I'm gonna pull up the listing again to see if it is a higher resolution screen or something. Nothing in the description or the reviews say anything about it being a higher resolution display, but overall, I think this thing looks freaking awesome. So yeah, that's really the end of the video. I don't know how much more power draw this has, if at all. And I really don't have any comparisons because this is my only PSP and I couldn't even get the screen to work before the video started. So anything you saw of the screen before was from older videos. But I think this looks really clean. And for like 40 bucks, if you need a new screen, I think it's worth it. Absolutely. I don't know if it's necessarily worth upgrading to. Like if you have a perfectly fine working screen, I don't know if you should necessarily spend 40 bucks on this. If you want to, go for it. But I feel like you should definitely every time go for this over trying to source an original display when yours breaks. But yeah, that's really all I'm gonna have to say for this, and that's why this is a second channel video and not a main channel video. If I do make a main channel video on this, it is because I am out of video ideas, and either this thing has auto brightness adjustments or there's a ghost playing my PSP.